Hello there, everybody. This is Surveillance of Lancer Armory. I'm here to finally release Artemis. She has been like a love project of mine since January of last year. I've been working on her for over a year, and I have reworked this avatar fully pretty much like at least 4 times, or had to redo all the clothing. Like, she has always had the idea of being a muscle mommy biker werewolf. And like, so this outfit that you've had been pretty much the outfit for her since the beginning. And I have redone this outfit so many times, tweaked a little bit of things. I wish I would have retextured everything, put everything on like one material deal, save up texture space, but I'm working on this and like multiple other avatars, and I'm just like, I have like these 2 tops that are like together. There's like, I know I could optimize this avatar even more, but I've been working on it for over a year, and I want her out. She's at a point where she looks good, she handles great, she runs fantastic. However, her download size for most of the avatars are a little over 100 megabytes. Now, these are like the full outfits, full like setup and all that stuff, but she's a big avatar at her core. She's a little over 100,000 polygons for just like her base body with like the fluffs and everything. Like without any of the clothing, she's around about there. Because I make avatars for a look and feel versus like, oh, good rank avatars. It's like, can I make good rank avatars? Yeah, but I don't like seeing sharp edges and like polygons. Like when I'm in VR, I want to be immersed. I want to see like very like realistic looking stuff, or as close as possible. Like the more realistic it looks, the greater like I think it is. So that being said, I have no idea how long this video has been going to be, because I've already recorded it several times now. This will probably take like 7 or 8. So who knows? I'm also not sure if I'm going to include all the things of Artemis into one video, or this is just going to be like the introduction video. I know I'm going to do some like MMD dances here, like dancing around and whatnot, because I can't dance. I also don't really have the room because I have like this much play space. So she's fully face tracked, and you got your little ear tracking, but it's not like aggressively like ear tracking movement. Like it's very like subtle and whatnot. She also has her expressions. So you got peace, which when you do peace, she does a little smile. But also, if you see, the ear will rotate out. And if you do peace on this side, the ear rotates out. A facial gesture. Grab doesn't do anything. Finger gun, little blip, eye wink over here, little smirk. But I also did my facial gestures to work with my face tracking. Because I like to have my expressions work with my face tracking and not like against. So that's kind of the reason why they're not overly exaggerated and whatnot, like some other avatars will be. And then rocker turns on the tongue fizz bone. We got like saliva. Then over here, just does like a little concerned look. Fist, angry. Fist over here. Don't think it does anything. Not every gesture does things. It's just like a couple little quirks and stuff like that. Finger point is like, oh. And this is just like, what the fuck? I don't know what they're really actually called the expression. This is kind of what it looked like. I am looking at the camera, right? Yeah. So this is pretty much the full version without any of the NSFW stuff. Basically switching out the NSFW stuff allows me to have the pistol. Like if you have Tabitha, this is Hollow Axe's pistol, which I think is really great because it has hand animations built into it. And I also added a hit marker effect for the particle. Essentially, if it hits somebody, it'll do a little blood splatter across the screen using a cancer space hit marker thing. So pretty standard. Like drop the mag, grab mag is just oh yeah, that's right. I forget if you holster it, it resets the animation. I forgot about that. So with this, it's finger gun to pull out another mag. It doesn't really matter. You just make the gesture, it just goes in there. You don't actually have to cock it. But like, I think this is a really good pistol system. It has low parameters, functions really well. Like I have looked for like a lot of pistols that run well, have like really good features, and yeah, definitely a really good deal. So how to grab that? You do finger gun, and you just like basically touch it, and then to release it, you just come over to the contact, grab it. I'm using Lindy's dual wielding system. I changed it to where it's only using like the knife, so you can mess around with that. So I did a particle trail when you do a fist, so the particle trail goes on. It also does a screen hit effect when you're doing it. So when you hit, sometimes you can hit yourself with it. First time I'm really, well, it's not really the first time, but I haven't quite perfected the art of particle hit on a melee weapon. I still haven't quite figured it out. It works most of the time. So the two default locations for the knife on this version is on the arm and down here, right? There's also the sword that you can put on your back. That's also in the project. It is on none of the avatars, but you can use it. It's in there. I have the commercial deal, blah, 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 blah. Until I start making my own weapon system, which is in the plan. I have like a whole like magic system thing. Haven't really been good at animations. I've finally started learning animations. That's actually been my biggest struggle. Is I don't really know animations. Like I try to do animation. I finally think I actually understand animations. It took me the longest time to understand how to set up an animation because I would like watch videos and like over and over and over and over. But anyways, so like I said before, Artemis is like literally like a labor of love, like quite literally. Like I can't stress it enough. I have reworked her head so many times, like her fur. Like I've redone this neck fur at least like 8 different times, and eventually I just settled with this one because it was optimized. It was like lower poly. I wouldn't say it's low poly, but for what it is, it's low comparatively to the original version I did. It was kind of ridiculous. I've gotten better at like cutting out polys where I don't need them and like adding them in like the important places and whatnot. Yeah. So let's see. So I'm also horrible at doing these videos. So first little radial is the coat. So she has an under mane and a top mane. Also, this top mane and the under mane will be for sale separately and commercially available for anyone who wants it. Eventually, when I'm finally finished with this base body, I will eventually release this as a base for people to use. But right now, I'm wanting to perfect it more before I get to that point. Or basically lowering the polygon count, really like dialing in some of the stuff that I want, and also probably making different versions because all my avatars are set up to be digigrade and not everyone knows how to do the animations for that. So if I do release it, it'll probably be like a basic Unity project that goes with it so that you can like rig up your avatars whenever I get around to that. So custom textures for crop top, remade all of these from another asset, like, and so these are not one mesh, they're one texture. So these are the same texture. Made these armbands way early on. It was actually the first clothing item I've ever made, except for they used to be metal rings. Then I changed them to leather armbands, and then these were like the first clothing items that I ever made. And I have left them on here. Like, and this just uses a hair card on the arm sleeves. Same with the fur. These are hair cards, custom hair cards that I made for this avatar. Some reason my play space has like moved. Okay. So now we'll go into the next coat. So, oh, fuck. Get the hoodie. Actually, you know what? So that we can actually see stuff. Go to customize and we'll go to the fur radials and turn on at least the neck fluff so that you can see it. So you got a maker's mark like Moondale on here. On the back, you got Alpha with like a little. I don't know how well you can see it with the fucking mane in the way. So this is Alpha Feral or Feral Alpha. I literally did the texture for the hoodie today to kind of match like the rest of the top. Because the one that I had on here was like basically like my company like hoodie thing. So I was just like, it's in the project if you want to use it, it's fine. But yeah, did the custom hoodie deal for Artemis because I wanted it, you know, theme to match. Oh, then we'll go into so then after that part on the radial for coat, it basically kind of cycles down again and then turns off the corset. God, that was way too hard. I don't know why saying corset was so difficult. Corset turns off. And then like the coat goes back on. And then that's all the coat's off. Kinda actually like, you know, get a nice look. And then you got the top, so the crop top comes off. And then you have basically a sports bra, which honestly, I kind of wish I would have made it to where this was the restrictive FizzBone setting for the crop top. But I like this top and I like my jiggles. so I don't have it compressed. When by compressed, I mean this. So this is the banded top, so it like squeezes the tits together. Also, you can see that the bikini has, you know, squish lines. Everything pretty much has squish. Like my ass is like getting squished out of these leather pants because, you know, leather pants. So you have like the banded top that's bit more control, doesn't move around as much. Probably should move less, but you know, gotta have a little bit of jiggle. It's also like really hard to like perfect that. That, and I didn't want to do a bunch of different fizz bone settings because like I have like 4 different fizz bone I got like four different fizz bone settings for the tits. Now on this one, each one of the versions of the avatar has 2, or most of them do. And if not, they are still on the avatar. So when you go to your avatar and select which avatar you're wanting to use, you can be like main tits or jiggle tits, or main tits or compressed tits. Yeah. So basically, this fizz bone settings, or they're more jiggly. But they're like, it doesn't get out of control. Neither one of them do. And then it goes into the bodysuit. So the bodysuit, this was primarily used for the mistress version. There still is a mistress version, but I do like the bodysuit. It also has individual like sections of like squish and same. And it was actually probably one of the things that took the longest is having squish for different blend shapes, for different clothing items and different clothing combinations, and making sure that those blend shapes work together without corrective blend shapes. Because she's already huge. There's so many blend shapes on this avatar. So many. Like there's a lot of customization stuff. A lot of customization that you can't actually do in-game. There is in-game customization, but there's so much more on it. There's even a cat face. So if you like wanted to be like a mountain lion or whatever and put like a different tail, because the next avatar that's going to get turned into is a manticore. I'm going into so much information, more so than the avatar showcase. It's more like this video is going to be long, and if you want to learn how what's on the avatars, you want to look at everything, and then like know how things work, you have to watch this video. But anyways, god damn it. In fact, I spent the last 4 days putting together all this stuff. So then you have all the tops up, and then you just have the bikini. So there's only one bikini, and then there are lace top and lace panties. I won't show this in this video because this video is going on YouTube. Oh, actually, no, I can. I just have to make sure I turn the plus back on. So I'll go ahead and do that now, which is in the customize. Go ahead and turn on the, I want the neck fluff off. All right, so set of pasties. You have crotch fluff, which covers everything. And then you have titty fluff, which covers everything. But we'll go into that after I do the rest of the bottom. Okay. All right, so the bottoms. So you have leather pants. You have the infamous split leg pants. These have been my favorite pants since I started playing VR chat like 2 years ago. Like I've only been playing VR chat for 2 years, and that's when I started learning how to make avatars. And I've only been doing Blender since August 2 years ago. Yeah, but this was supposed to be released Halloween at the very least last year, but that didn't happen and I have released other avatars because when I worked on those other avatars, I learned stuff from working on those avatars that I want to implement on Artemis. Artemis is like this is what I wanted to see in a wolf woman, you know, also mommy. Ooh, you know. Sorry. It's so fucking hot. Super pretty face. It took me forever to perfect this face. Bottoms, fuck. All right. And then you got the booty shorts, which these also have a bit of a squish. You kind of see there, like mainly outward squish. It used to be more, she used to be a lot thicker in the legs, but I have slimmed her legs quite a bit down and her profile quite a bit down because she was like very chunky bottom heavy, like, but like muscle. And I wanted it a little bit slimmer, but still like, you know, strong. Why do my legs keep locking out? Like they keep locking out. Oh, I know why they keep locking out. That's fine. I should fix that. I use standable with my tracking. Okay. Before I get distracted again, I don't know how much of this is probably going to be edited. This is probably all going to be in this video. All right, and then no shorts, and then you just bikini. Ta-ya! Again, full version of the face tracking, because there's going to be 2 Unity scenes. There's going to be one with face tracking and one without face tracking. I originally was in one scene, but I decided to separate it out into 2 scenes so it wouldn't confuse people. I also pre-made a bunch of different versions of Artemis so that people that don't know how to work on avatars, like she's a full avatar. You don't have to add anything to this avatar. Like I like making complete avatars. I like to like sell someone, like especially since I sell my avatars for $50. I want you to get your money's worth, like period. So I have like a buttload of commercial assets and not many avatars actually use them. I was like, oh, I'll get the commercial. Oh, I'll get the commercial. Oh, I'll get the commercial. All right, the clothing, back. Then you have the lace top and bottom. So as you see, the fur goes through it. So when you don't have the fur on, it will show. But then you can also turn it off, and then you can be naked, not naked. I am covered. You can't see it. Ta-da. The bits are there. This is a not safe for work avatar at its core. That's what it's meant for. And also just looking fucking badass. All right. All right. Now the muzzle. So the muzzle, when the muzzle is on, this is important. And how do I mute myself? And you mute. You get a ball gag. But that's only when the muzzle's on. Turn the muzzle off. And I go to mute. I don't know if you can actually tell whether or not I'm muted, but I am muted. Oh yeah, you can't tell whether or not I'm muted because fuck. God, I hope I'm not getting double audio. God, I hope I'm not getting double audio. My audio from my computer is just fucked. Yeah, because the mic is not recording the in game. Okay, yeah. All right, and so there's also, if you do the holster equipment off, both of these you don't have to go to the props to turn them off. You can just turn the holster equipment off, and it'll turn them off. But when you turn it back on, you will hear like one or two of the sounds that were previously played that will turn back on. All right, and now the chain. Which I really realize that I need to fix this. So there is a leash handle. However, it is not supposed to be on by default. You can turn it on and off. This one, for some reason, I turned the blend shape on. Oh, I remember why. I had to fix this version. And so if the leash is on, like the handle, if you go to the leash chain, go to the blend shape and turn it off, the toggle will work. Or if you want it automatically on, you can switch it in that, because most of the avatars use VRC Fury. Familiar with VRC Fury, you can like customize like the avatar pretty easily. I like my avatars modular and whatnot. That's how I mainly started working with things, and so I use a lot of it because it makes it easier to fix avatars and stuff when I break them. Then you can essentially go down the radial. We have like the collars and the harness and the gloves are all on accessories. And then the piercings are on a radial. So most of my stuff are on a radial for one reason. Well, actually, no, two reasons. First things first is I like to be able to switch through my clothing really fast. Like I like to be able to just like, I don't like to go like toggle this on, toggle that off, toggle this on, toggle that off. I do a radial, I can just switch through the clothing really fast. I like that. I like that a lot. Originally I didn't, but then I came to actually love it. But the way that I do it is I separate tops, bottoms, undies, coats. That's usually how and then another one for accessories. And if I have an excessive amount of accessories, then more accessories. And then some things I'll put like on just a toggle. I don't want to include that into the radial and whatnot. And so the second reason is face tracking. Yeah. Once you have it, you never want to go back. So to get the customization that I want, I have to do everything in a radial, because 160 parameters for face tracking takes up pretty much half of your parameters. So if you want any kind of in-game customization or stuff, like my personal versions for Artemis and whatnot, once this is released, probably won't have all the customization that I put into these avatars, but this is mainly for people that don't know how to do things, but also want to be able to do things in game type shit. Type shit. Okay. I wish Quest Pro had tongue tracking sometimes. And what sucks about Quest Pro is that you can't really use a face tracker with it. You can, however, the infrared lights from the face tracking will fire off and throw off face tracking a lot, so you can't really use them together. I was like, oh, Lance, but you can turn off the face tracking on the Quest Pro. Then I don't get eye tracking. That's actually like the most important part to like face tracking is actually the eyes, because the eyes show the most emotion. Like I would be mostly okay without having like a pace tracker, but like eye tracking is like really good. All right. How long is this video so far? Bro, did I even... Oh, 30 minutes. Fuck. Okay, so all the other versions we'll go through like really quickly. So this is main Artemis Huntress. All right, now we'll go into the feral radial, which does not have a logo. Sorry, at this point I can't be fucking bothered to make custom icons at this point because I just want to be done with her. Been working on her so fucking long. So you have the spawn in. So it's not very loud with a howl and whatnot. However, if you want to bump it up to 24, it swaps it into the complete opposite and becomes stupid loud. So kind of wish I would have redid things for it, but I didn't. All right, and then you get the fire effect. So for the first bit, for like the first 20, you got the fire eyes. These are modified version of Zep's fire eyes. I took away all the extra bullshit off the fire eyes, and I like the angled eye. I'm basically only really using the texture sheet. The texture sheet for his eyes, great. Fucking love them. I got rid of all the extra like eye stuff. Like it doesn't have any of the extra stuff. And then I like reuse some of the texture sheets on some of the other stuff. But then get the so when the tail moves or the head moves, you'll get little fire embers that come off of it. And then you have fire steps, which is this is something I have made. Like if you're familiar with Shashina, it's pretty much just like a modified version of Shashina's fire step. With a new particle that I fucking love. And you have all of them together. And it's pretty... It's not overly intense. So those are fire effects. And then we have our disappear. So to do disappear, do peace. And then fist. And then to come out of it, you just release fist. However, note that anytime this thing turns off and turns back on, it's going to play an audio. But kind of lame on that aspect. Not really much that can be done about it because of the way you have to like turn it off and on and all that jazz. Also, your glasses will get unposed, which is weird because I don't turn off the bone. I only turn off the mesh render. So there is an item on the avatar that says, for disappear, do not delete. Do not delete. If you delete it, the avatar might not reappear for everyone else. It will reappear for you, but it might not reappear for everyone else. If you have like a pistol version like this, since I don't turn off the render for this, it technically should show back up even if you delete that. However, just don't delete it. Right? So the reason why it's fist and then peace. Because then you can be like, peace, bitch. So, yeah. Also, if it is in your hand, will still be in your hand. Also, I don't know why I just keep like rotating. I'll also slowly have rotated. What the fuck? Okay, so I originally started facing my bed that way, and I have now gotten to the point where I'm facing straight towards my computer. All right, so that's disappear. And then we have feral vision, which feral vision is basically just night vision. Which I'm fairly certain you can see this. Okay, yeah, you can. All right, so we have the night vision tweak. So at this has like a little bit of like a black, so like whites are like black, but you turn that off, they'll go away. Also, the light is attached to the eye, so your eye light, and only you can see this. So this is all like local only. And you can change the different colors, intensities. All right. So then I can turn the intensity of the eye light on. It doesn't ever fully turn it off. It's there slightly. And then you have dark vision, which is a point light. So the point light only you can see. And it's supposed to like represent dark vision, like essentially like you have a certain deal. You can tweak it towards like less intense, more intense in the range. It's attached to the head. Same with the other deals. So that is night vision, or quote unquote feral vision. All right, now we have feral claws. These are so far all of these particular things I've made for this avatar. Probably will sell most of them. Probably won't sell the night vision, mainly because it uses a shader that I didn't make, cancer space, and I don't know if I can tell stuff with it. I don't know. I have to look at it. I've had it for a while. Not even quite sure where I originally got it from because I've had it for a long time. Anyways, so feral claws. If you do grab or slightly curl your fingers if you use an index, but if you hit the trigger and you hit somebody, it'll do a blood effect. It won't do it to you, but it'll do it to other people. Also, when it's on, you extend one of your arms out to either side, you'll get fire claws. When they do sounds when you go this way. They won't do anything this way. They'll do sound this way. And then double fist to turn them off. So double fist to turn off the system. Fucking Quest Pro controllers. But you can have the system on. Just be careful to not hit the trigger around your friend. Or you're like, because essentially, you know, it was a way to like the whole idea was like attack. However, it does a blood screen effect, and it does do like a lot of blood, and it will leave blood on the ground. And the blood won't disappear until you either turn off the system or it gets replaced by new blood. So you can leave like literally a trail of blood. I think up to like 20 or 40 puddles of blood. Not like a fuck ton, but I think it's 20. I can't remember. It's not like a whole lot, but you can leave a trail. It's enough to leave a trail. All right, and then so feral lights is to go with the claw. Hello, Laxbag. Hello, controllers. There we go. So the reason why this avatar says it has 177 particles, it's because it's using one light source, but it has particle lights. And for some reason, the game's like, those are separate light sources, even though it's technically the only one light source. And in fact, the light source actually never turns on. You just have to have the light source in your project, Like, in fact, I don't even think the light source is even there anymore, but it never gets turned on. So, and the light is based on like how much you move, whatnot. Because, you know, new light source, but it's a particle light system, so it's almost always a heavy load because it's so many rendered light sources, even though it's like one light source, but it's multiple light renderings. So use that one, you know, sparingly. And then you have feral stare, which can't demonstrate on it right now, but it's triggered the same as a disappear. It's peace and then fist. And now the system's on, and the system will stay on until you release either release fist, or but you have to have like both open hands basically. So you can do this and have peace held, and you can have the system on. But as soon as you release peace, you have both open hands, the system turns back off. And it has eye tracking. So, like, when you look at somebody with it, it'll go off. It is triggered by face tracking. So if you have face tracking, the thing will follow your eyes. You don't have it on, it follows the head. Got it? Got it? Good. And it's like a contact. So when the system turns on, like 3 contacts go out to like 30 meters or 30 yards, whatever the fuck it is. And anyone that falls in there, it'll go off. They'll do a cancer space green flag, makes the red go all the way around, and then there's a audible heartbeat and like doom 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 doom. And the closer you get to me, the louder it gets. So the closer, it's basically for hunts. So it's just like a whole deal. Originally, I did have eye cones attached to it, but I was kind of getting annoyed by the eye cones. So I made a new eye cone that's invisible, that has the cancer space effect, and does like the shader overlay. It's not overbearing, but it will get your attention. And it doesn't like do screen fake or anything, but it does do like a red like overlay and stuff. Like, oh, I've been spotted. And all right, and then we have a customize. So tails, we have a tail controller. Oh my god, I forgot how. So hug. It's a puppet over the shoulder. Lift, which just kind of lifts it up just a little bit. So like you just lift it off the ground. And then you have front thrust, which is kind of like put your tail between your legs, like, woo. So if you wanted to be like, you know, sad puppy. And then you can just turn the tail off. Also note something about all my avatars is the chest and the tail are linked together. So when I turn my chest this way, the tail will go the opposite way. If I do this, the tail will go up, go down, and go forward, so on and so forth. Basically, it has a rotation constraint that matches the chest. And I call it the tail controller. So without any animations, it's just a rotation constraint. It's very light, very effective. It makes the tail very lively and act like a tail. A lot of people do like all these animations and stuff, and I'm just like, in all reality, well, it's also because I have a chest tracker. So I mean, you could also do kind of the same thing with a rotation constraint to the head. So if you don't have a chest tracker, retarget the tail controller to like the head or neck. Yeah. But I feel like it's more natural when it's to the chest, because it does like the body flow thing. Also, her tail is very whimsical and wispy, like floofy. It is going to be for sale, but I plan on doing a couple of things before the tail itself is for like release for sale. You can also turn the floor collider off, so you're laying on the ground, floor collider turns off. You have a tail scaler, so if you want supersize me, won't. And then you have tail thicken, which just makes it overall poofier. So if you want big thick tail but not super long tail, you can just make it poofier. And then you have tail whack. Which honestly I hardly ever have on anymore. Just because of my tail controller, it moves my tail around a lot, so I don't even really need the wag a whole lot. And it's just like erratic. It like does like too slow, and then it'll do like a whip back and forth, and then it's just kind of randomized things that it does. All right, that's the tail. Now we have the head. Now we have the hairs. Now all the hair and whatnot needs to be bald with no underfluff and such. Because if your avatar's ugly without hair, your fucking avatar's just fucking ugly. Them's facts. And so I kind of modeled this one after kind of Luna's deal. Speaking of Luna, this avatar comes with a Luna texture and hair texture. Yes. Because I was like, people are already going to want a Luna. People are going to make a texture for Luna. I'm going to go ahead and get ahead of it and make my own that fits the same style and theme of Artemis. So yeah. Okay. Also, I'm pretty happy with it. Well, all right. So hair. Then we have fangs. So when you open up the mouth, lips will go up. Right? The top jaw does move. Although, yeah. Top jaw does move. Then we have feral. So feral gives you a nice little red glow over the entire. It basically gives you red rim lighting. It makes the face look more angry, makes the fangs bigger, and just feral. Originally I was going to do like a feral body thing. Maybe in like a future version that I will do. I do have plans for it, specifically when I do the medieval Artemis. That one's going to be really fun. So this is feral. I really like the way it came out. And then you have first person snoot. Some people are gonna like it, some people won't. I currently don't like it. I actually feel like I need to adjust the camera position because of it now. Wait. No, it's correct. But yeah, there is a first person snoot. Some people like it, some people won't. It is literally just a snoot with like head chop, basically. There's like a bone. Then notice you get like the wiggle. You got the nose wiggle. Ooh, do not have cheek wiggle. Sorry. Something I wanted to implement, but I already had so many fucking fizz bones on this bitch. I didn't want to fucking add more. There's already a lot. Everything that should move moves. Let's just say that. Or jiggle. All right, and then body. Everyone's favorite. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna turn off that. No, we'll do the body. So tits base size. So this is the base size for Artemis on her tit, which is at 25%. Then you go to 0, you get smaller titties, smaller titty Artemis, which for me they're like the ideal size. Hand size tits. Actually, ever since I added the fact that I can make them smaller, I've actually been running them like more like this. But her default is 25, and 50, 75, 1D. Could they get bigger? Yeah. Should you? No. So, if you pay attention, essentially the boobs will drop and get like smaller. And like right after like 75, they get too heavy, and so they start dropping down. But yeah, that's pretty much as big as I was comfortable making them get before they would either clip on stuff or just look kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous there, but you know, those size queens. All right, then I'm going to turn off the coat now, actually. Otherwise, probably won't be able to notice it a whole lot. So let's go ahead and turn off the coats. That. Also, let's do another thing. Is so when you lift the arms up, if you're familiar with any of my avatars, they have lat and bones, whatnot. So when you move the shoulders up, also the tits will get pulled out. Although I have shoulder tracking off because I don't like how VR check calculate. Oh my god, why is this? What is going on? I don't know. There's weird things. Oh, what was I doing? Oh yeah. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and turn the bottoms to shorts. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. Well, I'll be fixing that. Wait, what? Huh? Anyone else see that? Huh? Okay, I don't know what's going on there. I think gesture combination. Gotcha. That's the first time I noticed that one. Then again, I don't really shift my jaw left or right all that much. Okay. Upper body. So you can make the biceps bigger. Gone, son. Or pretty much it. Yeah, pretty much anytime I do this, those are going to turn on. You can also make the claws longer, which don't know how well you can actually see that from there. But yeah. And then you can turn the digigrade legs off. So digigrade? Not digigrade. Digigrade? Digigrade. Or not digigrade. All right. Final thing is thickness. Oh, this is 25. This is 50. This is 69. Yanks. And 100. As you can see, it goes into like different states of different thicknesses in different areas. And as far as I know, and that I have tested, and I have tested this thing a lot, there's nothing clips except for like the corset on the Mistress version. Right? There's so much to this avatar. This is only one version. I think we're done though. Oh, then you have the not safe for work stuff. But not on this one. Oh yeah. Not safe for work stuff. You'll have to learn. All right, so mat cap emission. So you have this glow, which I kind of want to change. And then you have main emission, which turns on like the tattoos. Like this is also all audio linked. Then you have your main hue. We're going to just do 65. Then your secondary hue, you're going to do 51. Then you have your eye hue. Just one, I like to do 25. All the clothing that has like a metallic or like, you know, like a red color to it is hue shiftable, basically. And it's linked to like the other stuff. And then you have body brightness, so you can increase your brightness. And so that brightness is only based on how much light is actually in the world. If you turn on body brightness and you're in a pitch black room with no light or reflection probes or anything, you'll still be black. It's not a self-emitting light. It's based on the world, and basically it's the multiplier. It's the post-processing multiplier and another multiplier deal, or increase still. Q map brightness. But yeah. Also, so the base claw is using 2 different shaders on the claws, which are attached to the fingies individually. I just realized I can make my own deal, because this particular texture is not the flame shader for the eyes, and doesn't look as good as I would actually like. But part of the fire is hue shiftable, but it still looks like fire. It just has a nice little balance of color change. All right. Now, this is like what I call like more casual punky fit. I fucking love this meme here. All right, so this is Artemis. I am either going to split the video right here, or this is all going to be one video. Okay, and now I am facing my... What the fuck is going on? Okay, because my camera hasn't moved, right? So originally, my camera, when I started this, was facing that way in my placement. It is now facing that way. What the actual fuck? I didn't even realize that was a thing. Huh. More you know. Right, so. Woo. So now I'm going to show you the mistress, but we're going to show you the Luna mistress and the Luna spear. So this one's kind of like a combination of, it's a different version. But yeah, so this is Luna texture. This is also the mistress base outfit with the glasses, the eye patch. So the regular mistress doesn't have the eye patch. This one does, because this one has the spear. However, the only difference between the two is this one doesn't have the not safe for work stuff on it, and it has the spear. Right? You know, like SPS, PCS, dick, you know, all that jazz. Milk options. For the milkers out there, where the milkies at? Which is contact base. All right, so for this, we're not really going to go too deep into like a lot of detail. We're just going to really just go into the clothing. So these are the clothing for the tops. All right, and then the bottoms. This one has the boots with stockings. Also, if you don't want to have the knee fluff like at all, like ever, just go to the body, turn off the blend shape for like the knees, and then you just won't ever have them. But I kind of like the idea, like, so, you know, fluff goes like through it and stuff. Right. Then you have the coats, which coats includes the sleeves. You have hoodie, corset, sleeves, hoodie without the corset. Then we have the Virgin Destroyer. And then I'm going to go back through the top. So you use the Virgin Destroyer with all the tops and without the bottoms. I thought about making this the default look, but I kind of don't really like the body suit with it. I like kind of like more like this, if anything. But these are all set up to work within the radials and work in any combination thereof. So, like, even, although I wouldn't say it's the greatest, like it kind of clips a little dangly bits, but it tucks it into the pants, so you can have the Virgin Store cut out pants. Like I like these pants. Although fishnet with the Virgin. It's not the Virgin Killer, it's the Virgin Destroyer. Then you got all the undies. And just back. Actually, let me grab the camera. I was trying not to do this. Shit. Hold on. So everything else hue shifts, but the back of the eyes will always stay red. And then you have like all the chain, all that stuff. The chain collides with the body. It'll go between the legs. It'll lay across the belly, whatnot. So like the chain fully like collides with the body. So it's like very emissive. You can put an OSC leash on it. As far as I know, you can't really include that in there. I don't have it, but I knew like people that would probably want to use it. Oh, of course, I got off. So the only other different thing for her versus the other version that has all the NSFW is she gets a flaming spear, which you can turn the weapon flames off. But a UV spear, and this is using the two-handed weapon system from Lindy. Because honestly, it works really well. And actually doesn't really take up a whole lot of parameters versus like some other things. But yeah. Put it on her back. Here. Yeah. And it like slides up so it's like not in the ground. All right. So this also, all the versions have the dash system. If you're familiar with any of my avatars, it's dash system. Fist, flies. That's not the dash system because it's not on. Is the only difference between my other one and this one is it is head orientated, which I haven't really figured out how to get it from slowly twisting. I haven't really figured that out. There probably is a deal, but I haven't quite perfected it. But now you can, do directional flying. By doing gesture and then dashes with the right. Yeah, so that's pretty much this one. All right, and now we're gonna go into tactical RMS. This is one that took me a while to get the way I wanted her to be. What? Where's regular tactical Artemis? I'm blind. There she is. Tactical Artemis. So these are the same glasses. I just have a blend shape, make some aviators, so you can actually use that blend shape if you like for the aviators, or you want to like kind of fuck around. The glasses are something I made because they're the glasses that I basically wear. So you have the QBZ. QBZ? Pretty sure it's a QBZ. Anyways, so it's a fully interactable rifle system. I didn't make it. I just have the commercial deal off the booth. So it's fully reloadable and all that stuff. You can pop out the mag. Problem is it's a little finicky, so you can use the mag to bunk it. But if you do like too close to it, because like the colliders are like really close to one another, as it can just like slide on in. This isn't the default here. This is just the way I usually have mine. You pull the trigger, make a fist. Also note that that charge the handle, you can grab it by doing finger gun, or if it's being reloaded, you can just go to finger gun to finger point, and it'll release the bolt. It also is smart enough to know how many rounds you shot from like last time and all that stuff. You got the pistol again. You got your knife. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I think it's like a range deal. So to release it, you just drop it here and you just grab the handle or grab near it. But to put it back, you have to like touch here. It is constraint to the chest. So this one can't get as thick, and that's because of the gear, and so I limited that, but she can still get pretty sizable on the testicles, or really small. Well, technically they're not small, they're just like pretty much the average VR chat avatar, I guess. Handful. And then she can get thick. All right, we're not really going to go into any of that stuff, just showing that all works. So for her, once you have all the systems turned on, they will all stay on. But when you go to tactical gear and the clothing, essentially, if there is not an option that holds it, it will turn that system off. So if there's not a thing to hold it there, it will turn the system off on the radio, and then it'll also turn back on. But since I'm turning off the system, it will replay that animation that it last played, type thing. Not really much to be done about that. All right, so you take off all the gear, and then you have the top, which you turn off by just the top, and then you have the coat, and you have the armbands that are onto that coat, right? Yeah. Then you have the bottoms, so then you have what the world? Oh yeah, there is one thing about this one that there's really nothing to be done about because of the animation. The undies, if you leave it on here and you put on the shorts, yeah, it'll basically I'll have that on, which that's not, that should only be a thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to relook at that. I bet when I re-uploaded it, it changed the blend shape. So basically one of the blend shapes isn't on, or it is on and it should be off. And so the crotch buff is clipping through. That's the reason why I usually end up redoing these videos. Because they're like, oh, thing like that. Oh, fuck, my video's fucking, oh, I gotta start over. You know what? I don't care. I have done this video. I'm not, no. It's not. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much that, really. There's not much else. Like, she's just, she has like the feral claws, the night vision, the dash system. She has all the other stuff. Deal with her is like, she got the gun and the knife and the pistol. Right? Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Oh no. Huh? Son of a bitch. Just fix this top. Or is this the old version? This might actually be the old version that wasn't fixed. It should be fixed on the actual release, okay? Should. I make no promises at this point. I just want her to be fucking released. Goddamn. Like, it's Monday, or technically now Tuesday, and it might be Wednesday that she actually gets released. Fuck my life. It's 4 in the morning. Okay, I don't think there's anything different other than those things. All right. There's also a Luna version of each one of these. I'm just not going to switch into them because all it really is texture. All right, now let's go into the casual version. Casual version is basically a combination of Huntress and the tactical, mainly the pants, mainly swaps out the pants, takes off the leather jacket, takes it off the corset. That's pretty much the biggest difference, is just like the base clothing look, downsizes the texture memory, downsizes the download size. Let me see what the download size of this one is. Doesn't download, it doesn't downsize the download size enough because this is the not safe for work version with all the bells and whistles. So this download size is 110. The full Artemis is 120 to 116. Sometimes it's 116, sometimes it's 120. I have literally taken things off of the avatar, and the download size went up. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, kind of don't care. She's sexy. She needs to get out in the world. Like, I want to see Artemises. I want to see them. And I want to touch them. Yeah, so the hoodie just has its own toggle instead of like coats. On the bottoms, you got these pants, and that, and then that, right? Tops. Pretty much this is the bodysuit and the banded top. With, you know, patent pending Artemis look of crop top, sports top. I'm actually getting tired of standing here. Few shifts, all that. Okay. So that's that version. That's the casual. All right. Now we're going to go into... Let's go Artemis Beachwear. There's two different beach versions. Okay, yeah. This one's 103. So this one's 103 downloads that. So this one has less clothing. It's more like I'm going to the beach, still kind of casual. It's got like the fish nets and stuff, which if you wanted to, you could actually make it to where this isn't see-through by changing the alpha slider. I thought about adding an option for that, but I ended up just going, nah. So there's that. Then you just have, yeah, the shorts and the cutoff. I think this one has, yep, this one still has lingerie. And then the coats. Oh, this one also still has. So if you like the Virgin Destroyer and you want like a bit lighter one. So this one's kind of like the party beach / casual one. Like almost under 100 megabytes. But this one also is a not safe for work version that has the claws, the dash, the white. Like if you took all of the stuff, there's also options where you have none of those things. But those download sizes are much smaller. Because there is like a lot of animation and customizations and all that jazz. All right. Now I'm gonna go to the Artemis Beach lightwear of the Luna version. So this one's probably the second lightest version. So default outfit is fishnets, banded top, shorts. So the tops, quite literally just those two tops. On a radial, just shorts. That's it. That's the clothing on this one. This one's pretty much, also this one doesn't have knee fluff on it. On the beach light. That way you can see that strong knee. Ooh. You can really see the legs. Ooh. Sorry. This is hot. I don't care what anyone says. Stupidly attractive. All right, and then we have Artemis Feral, which I'm going to go into the Luna version because I've actually come to really like the Luna version more than my regular Artemis design. I don't know. Kind of annoying. So this is Artemis Feral. This is the base look for Artemis Feral. You got like all the fluff. There's no real clothing. There's like harness, armbands. This one's quote unquote physical. So when it comes to clothing, you just have accessories, which you get your leash. Apparently, I have to go and fix that for all of them, because that should be off by default. Oh yeah, that's right. I was working. Yeah. And then just nothing. Just nothing. Oh wait. There. Got it. Except for like piercings. Oh. This is base Artemis. And all her glorious glory. Maximum thickness, maximum titties. Oh. Mama wolf. I'm actually thinking about making a future version of Artemis that's a multi-titty option type thing. I just don't know how I want to do it. Like, I actually want them to be like built in, but like appear type thing. I don't know. There will be a werewolf with multi-titties. We will do it, and we will make it look good. And have the jiggles. That one's probably just literally going to be a feral avatar. I probably won't do clothing. Well, yeah, I probably will do clothing. It's just going to be interesting. Because I want to do the fur tough deals like I did on here. Dog claws. Then let's see, we'll do spawning, feral claws, disappear, fangs, and then feral. It's kind of shiny with it. Like it mainly does like the head, like some of the fluff. It just makes it. And then you get the little red outline. I'm curious. Oh. Oh. I did not realize that's how that rim lighting. It actually acts like rim lighting. Huh. I don't know why I thought I would glow. Okay, that's actually nice. Okay, that works exactly the way I was hoping. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. So she's big, muscular, but she's not overly muscular. But like she's like that happy medium, as I like to like. She's like bodybuilder, not strength, but not like super bodybuilder, like, you know, just like sexy body. Yeah. Is there anything else? All right, went over that. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope this video's been an hour and 30 minutes. Probably gonna be an hour and 30-minute video. I'm gonna try to do tags and sections and whatnot. Well, if you've watched it to this point, I guess it doesn't really fucking matter, does it, that I'm saying it now? Anyways, I hope you love Artemis as much as I do. But a lot of love into this bitch. Also, although my like elbow, like, I don't have elbow trackers. She got like veins. Yeah, there's like veins in like random places. My feet are killing me. Peace.